Okay, so let's talk about something I bet you haven't thought about in years. In a world where you've got literally every song ever made in your pocket, one piece of tech we all thought was dead and buried is staging a comeback. And yeah, I'm talking about the good old cassette player. I know what you're thinking. In this age of infinite streaming, why on earth is this making a comeback? It kind of makes no sense, right? Why would anyone pick this clunky analog thing when you've got perfect digital music on your phone? Well, the answer is actually super interesting, and it says a whole lot about what we're all looking for from technology these days. All right, so let's get into the cassette's curious comeback. And the first thing you need to know, and this is important, is that we're not talking about you digging up your dad's dusty old Walkman from the attic. Nope. This whole comeback is being fueled by brand new players that are hitting store shelves right now. Seriously, it's not 1985, it's today, and you can go online and buy a brand new cassette player. Companies are actually making these things. This isn't just some niche thing for a few collectors, it's a real, living, breathing product category with actual people buying them. But here's where it gets really cool. These new players aren't just relics. They're not just trying to copy the past. They're actually hybrids. They're taking old school tech and mixing it with new stuff, and what you get is something totally different. Yeah, they've got an analog heart but a digital brain, and that's really the core of this whole thing. You get that physical tape, you hear the little whir of the motor, that's the analog heart. But then they've packed it with a modern digital brain. Just look at this mashup. On one hand, you get all the classic stuff, the physical tapes, those big, clunky, satisfying buttons. But then, on the other hand, you get all the modern upgrades we expect. We're talking Bluetooth 5.0, so you can use your wireless earbuds, USB-C for charging, thank goodness, and some of them even let you digitize your old mixtapes into MP3s. It's literally the best of both worlds. So the big question is, who is actually buying these things? Well, because they're such a mix of old and new, it turns out there isn't just one answer. When you really look at what's out there, you can see three totally distinct types of listeners. Okay, first up, you've got the nostalgia player. For this person, it is all about the vibe. It's not about perfect, crystal clear sound. Nah, it's all about the look, the feeling, the memories, just the pure fun of it. And check out the price, $23. That tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it? For that little money, we're talking about a total impulse buy. It's a fun toy, a cool little gadget. This is absolutely not a serious investment for some high-end audio snob. And yeah, the trade-offs are pretty obvious. I mean, look at these. The selling points for models from Byron Statics or GPO are fun colors and built-in speakers. The downsides? Bad sound quality and, get this, crap earphones. So it's crystal clear what the priority is here, and it's definitely not the sound. I mean, listen to this marketing quote from Byron Statics. Bring out the soundtrack of past memories on your cherished cassettes. That says it all, right? The whole point is to connect with those memories, to hold something real from your past. That slightly warbly, lo-fi sound, that's not a mistake. For this person, that's the whole point. Okay, but then we do a complete 180. We go to the total opposite end of the spectrum. This is the high-fidelity revival, and it is all for the love of sound. This is where things get really serious. We're talking about the analog purist, the person who wants the absolute best sound they can possibly squeeze out of a tape. And boom, $160. That price tag alone tells you we're in a completely different ballpark now. We just jumped from 20-something bucks to over 150, and honestly, it can go way higher. This is a real investment. And that's because this category isn't about just playing a tape, it's about really hearing it. Think about it. The nostalgia person wants to feel the vibe. The analog purist, they want to hear every single detail, all the warmth and richness that tape can offer when it's done right. So what exactly are you paying for? Well, you're getting some serious hardware. We're talking solid aluminum builds, not cheap plastic. Oversized pure copper flywheels. That's a big deal for keeping the tape speed perfectly stable. High voltage motors, custom amp heads. These are all pieces designed to get rid of something called wow and flutter. That's basically the little speed wobbles that can make tapes sound warbly. This stuff is engineered to deliver clean, pure audio. And this quote from a player called the FIO CP13 just nails it. 100% pure analog sound. That's their whole philosophy. It's basically saying no digital stuff allowed. They want a completely pure, uncompromised analog signal. all the way from the tape itself straight to your headphones.
So you've got the cheap and fun vibe seekers over here, and the super serious purists over there. But for a lot of us, there's a middle ground, and that's where the modern pragmatist comes in.
This is the person who thinks tapes are cool, but they are absolutely not giving up their digital comforts. And so you see all these players pop up that give you the best of both worlds. They'll connect to your Bluetooth headphones, sure. They'll help you digitize your old mixtapes, of course. They have the latest Bluetooth and USB-C. And the sound quality is actually pretty good, all for a price that doesn't make you gasp.
So, when you boil it all down, what are we really talking about? Well, it means that buying a cassette player in today's world isn't just one simple choice. You're actually choosing what kind of experience you want to have with your music.
So you gotta ask yourself, what kind of listener are you? Are you the vibe seeker, where it's all about fun, looks, and nostalgia, and the price has to be right? Or maybe you're the modern pragmatist, who wants to mix that analog feel with your digital life. Or are you the analog purist, going for that ultimate no-compromises sound? It's like 3 different tribes, all gathering around this one old piece of tech for completely different reasons.
And that brings us right back to the question we started with. Why is any of this even happening? And the most important thing to get is this. The comeback isn't about replacing Spotify. Not at all. Nobody is trying to do that. That was never, ever the point. What it's really about is adding something back. It's about having a tangible, physical, intentional way to listen to music. That digital convenience is great, but it took something away. This is about the ritual of picking a tape, physically putting it in the player, pressing play, and just listening. It's a real, deliberate experience in a world that's become so effortless and intangible. And that kind of leaves us with one last big question, because this whole thing isn't really just about cassette players, is it? It's about vinyl records, it's about people shooting on film cameras again, it's about buying physical books. It really makes you think, what does the technology you choose, whether it's old or new, say about the kind of experience you're actually looking for?